Hello friends, and welcome into the show. I cannot wait to spend these next few moments with you as we shine the spotlight on a destination that offers you 3 championship courses and enough fun for the entire family that I really don't know how we're going to fit all of it into the program today. We have come to the beautiful, spectacular Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, a destination that is certainly on target for your next getaway. Hey, I almost hit the bullseye. A surprise for everybody. Let's go.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, celebrating our 20th season of shining the spotlight on the best places to stay, play, and enjoy the greatest game on earth. Stay connected 24/7 to MGL on Facebook, Twitter, our weekly radio show, and podcasts on the all-new FOREGolfersNetwork.com.
Hello friends, and welcome into the show. I'm Bill Hobson. It is great to have you along with us as today we shine the spotlight on an iconic destination located just a couple minutes outside of Traverse City, officially in Acme, Michigan. And those of you who have been here before already know exactly where we are because you see the iconic tower off in the distance. The tower indicating Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. Today on the program, we'll showcase 54 holes of championship golf and a lot of other fun you can enjoy when you come visit this special place. So as soon as I extricate myself from this difficulty on 18 of the Wolverine course, we'll get our tour started on Jack Nicklaus's The Bear, where Tom McGee is standing by. The golf options at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa are many, but they start with this iconic property that Mr. Nicklaus put together a few decades ago. So when I say The Bear, you say what?
Challenging, without a doubt. I mean, it's a good test of golf, but a lot of fun to play though as well. So it's a good combination of everything.
Back in 1985, when at that time, without a doubt, the most successful golfer of all time was here to carve out a championship course on this property. So how do you describe what he did?
Yeah, he had a lot of land to use, obviously, to lay everything out, and that's what he did. He took advantage of the natural terrain. He moved a lot of earth, did a lot of moguls, created those, but really there's not a whole lot of holes that go side by side at all. You go out, away from the clubhouse, and come all the way back in. So, and they're all very unique as far as the golf holes. That's one of the greatest things that he did, is he made every hole so different.
You really come out of the gate here on the front 9 with some beautiful holes. I mean, right from number 1 and working your way through all the way up to let's say number 5. There's a different feel for each one.
Yeah, there is, and one of the things that you can see on that first tee box, you see the fairways are fairly wide, a little moguling and all that, and that's what you're going to see throughout the round, but it's all the particulars right around the greens that are going to show you the difference between one hole to the next, and the bunkering, the taller grass and such, and it does create a unique experience out here.
The bunkering is truly a Nicklaus characteristic. Some of them are rather steep, rather deep, and you've got to have your iron game in shape to get out.
Right. And it is all about the irons. I mean, that's how Jack built the golf course. I mean, off the tee box, it's pretty easy. They're relatively easy and forgiving, but it's really about the iron play. And if you miss the green, you're in one of those deep pop bunkers and such. And good sand play is essential.
So when you have a resort like this, you have 3 golf courses, and we're going to see all of them in our program today. But this one would also serve, I think, as the top of the food chain when it comes to championship test of golf. And that's borne out by the fact that the Bear hosts some of the best players in this state.
Yeah, during the Michigan Open every year that we host, it does. We have the top club professionals, the top amateurs that are going to come out here and play golf and test it for 4 rounds. And every round will be different because of the hole locations, because of the conditions of the wind and things like that. So it'll play different every day, and that's part of the challenge. And that's why we've seen it very difficult to have a repeat champion. It's been a long time.
You and I are standing out here on an unusually calm day. Normally the wind is really a big factor, and today it's just one of those exceptions to the rule. How does the changing wind impact the Bear?
And it will. Again, just so many of those open holes, like number 9, for instance. Over water, it's that par 3. It can play 2-3 shots different, and you can play it left to right. You might have to play it right to left. It's a big factor, not just there, but everywhere throughout the golf course. It just adds a lot of length, or it can shorten a lot of the length on some of those holes.
I think they really enjoyed your description.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's talk about the excitement generated by 18, where we're standing. We just heard some excitement in the background. You've got some options off the tee here. What is the Tom McGee recommended course of action off the tee?
I prefer to go to the right side of that split fairway. It shortens up the hole a little bit, but it takes a more accurate tee ball. And then again, with that shorter second shot, you have a better chance to get closer to the hole. And again, it's a very large green. When the pin's in the back, makes it pretty challenging because you can't miss it long, left or right. But you know, you just really have to pay attention to what the hole location is.
Whether it's the Michigan Open or the Buddies trip, this hole decides an awful lot of matches in dramatic fashion, doesn't it?
It does. It's a blast. And again, there's nothing better than standing on that 18th tee box knowing there's something on the line. And yeah, the knees start to quiver a little bit. And again, it doesn't matter if you're playing in a big tournament like the Open or the Buddies trip. It's a lot of fun. It's a great finishing hole.
Well, now you have a little bit of a feel for why the Bear is known all across the country as a true championship test of golf. And we've still got 2 more courses to show you, plus a whole lot of fun here at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. When we come back, we'll do a little shopping. But first, how about a little bowling here in the den? Oh, that was not very good. Welcome back into the show as we continue a really fun time at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. We have more golf straight ahead, but you really can't spend any time here without doing a little shopping. In fact, I'm trying to pick out a little something special for myself. What do you think? It's pretty good, right?
This might be more along the lines of what you're looking for.
Yeah, now that you mention it, you're probably right. Thank you for that help. This gallery of shops really is pretty special, and here to tell us more about it is Caroline Rizzo, the Public Relations Manager at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. I think I need to get my wallet out. This is a pretty cool part of the resort.
You can't walk past here from the lobby to the main elevators without at least doing some window shopping, but I think everyone comes in and kind of grabs a bag of goodies too.
So along with familiar brands, we've also got some really cool localized product on display.
We do. I mean, just look right around us, right? I mean, that iconic bear logo, it's just kind of what we're known for. When people see that, they think of Northern Michigan and Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. So we got tons of logoed stuff in our Bear logo shop, sweatshirts, t-shirts, fun, great blankets that you can use out at the beach or for a picnic. There's mugs, hats, you name it. Something can go home with you and say, I spent time at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. So we have 8 different stores here in our gallery of shops. And of course, right, our own logoed wear and goods, but we love promoting and showcasing other great small business products and pieces too. So of course, we've got something for your sweet tooth with Cherry Republic. There's Hilbert Honey Company and Grand Traverse Sauce Company. We have local beers, wines, and spirits. So something even while you're here, right, to enjoy in your room or out on property. You name it, and we've got it here in the gallery of shops.
All the brands, both global and local, and it's part of the fun here at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa to pick out that perfect souvenir. I kind of like the maize and blue color. It's a personal preference of mine. Good stuff in the gallery of shops. There was a time when we would think of Grand Traverse Resort and Spa as a kind of a regional destination. I think now it's accurate to say it's a national destination, right?
Oh, absolutely. With the conventions, the cooperation with Traverse City Tourism, working through the airport, getting direct flights in, that makes it a national destination. And even international with the Canadians coming down as well to play and to be active in the opportunity of Northern Michigan.
Of course, we're here primarily to focus on the 3 golf courses, but there's so much more to do here between the shopping and then the addition of the den. And what's the guest experience like off the golf course?
Oh, it's a great experience. From the entertainment offers that we have, the den that you mentioned with the axe throwing and the bowling. Our culinary team has so many outlets that people can enjoy, from fine dining to casual. The microbreweries that we bring in that are locally, the local wines that we bring in. You're experiencing Northern Michigan here in the resort without actually leaving it. It's a great location for that.
There's nothing quite like approaching the Acme area and seeing that tower from a few miles away. It is iconic. What does it mean to you when you pull in and you see that? You've been doing it for a while, but it's still pretty special.
it touches me every day to be honored to work for the company I work for and the resort and Michigan at the same time. To be an ambassador for all of those, it's a privilege to do that day in and day out. This is where Detroit comes to play. This is where Southeast Michigan comes to play, is they go up north. The waters, the streams, the hiking, the boating, the hunting is up north. This is where we go to relax. And this is a great place to do that.
Well, after learning a little bit more about what makes this such a special destination, it is time for us to head back out to look at another golf course, Gary Player's masterpiece called the Wolverine. But you know we have to fuel up first. I've got a crew with me that needs some nourishment, and I've officially deemed myself the king of the sweet treats. You also can join the King's Court if you stop by Whirligigs, Candy, and more inside the resort. And now let's head out to the first tee of the Wolverine. When I say the name Gary Player and you think of his design talents here on the Wolverine, what comes to mind?
Fairness. I mean, it's such a great golf course. It's a perfect complement to the Bear. You don't have to force anything, any carries. You can pretty much run up everything on the greens. And it's a great test of golf. It's fair and it's for everybody.
You know, it's funny, you look at the differences in the style of play between Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player, and I think in some ways it's reflected in the way they design golf courses. Is that accurate?
Oh, very accurate. There's no doubt about it. You know, Gary's a guy who kind of hit the ball down and ran the ball when he could, and Jack hit the, probably the highest irons of anybody. And it looks like it when you go to a Nicklaus golf course, because when you miss a green, you're looking back up toward the green. Where if you go over here at the Player course, pretty flat bunkers, not real deep, but where you're going to find with Jack.
Everybody comes to the northern Michigan region wanting to experience what they call the up north feel. How does the Wolverine help fulfill that desire?
Well, just look around. You've got beautiful rolling hills, you've got trees, and then, my favorite time of year was a couple weeks ago when all the cherry blossoms came out. You go back to that stretch along number 13 and 14. It's just incredible. You're sitting there looking down the hill at that par 3, and all you've got is beautiful cherry trees and blossom. Tough to beat.
You take a poll of the guests at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, which course would you rather play? I think Wolverine is often voted as the #1 course in that mix. What is it about this course that has caught the popularity of so many guests?
Again, fairness. It's just a great golf course for everybody to play, from the low handicappers to the high handicappers. You still have to hit shots out there as a low handicapper, but as a high handicapper, again, you're not going to have those forced carries. You can run balls up on the green, and it's just a great golf course. It's one of Gary's best. I've had the pleasure of playing quite a few Player golf courses, and I can't think of another Player course better than this one.
We start right here. We're standing on the first tee. The bunkering line the right side, but it looks like a fairly generous landing area. Walk us through a little strategy on, let's say, 1, 3, 5, 7 on the front 9.
Number 1's a great starting hole. I love elevated tees. I don't know anybody who doesn't love an elevated tee.
Makes you feel longer.
It makes you feel longer, and I think I might be able to get it up in the air. So it's a great little starting hole. Driver, mid-iron to get started with, generous fairway, like you said. Then we go to 3. I think 3 might be the signature hole out here. It's a great par 5, dogleg left, and it's that typical chew off as much as you can. If you want to try to chew off on that left side, you can knock one down there and maybe knock an iron off on the green. But if you come up short, you're dropping and probably looking at double. And if you take the safe route, you're going to get home in 3 shots.
Par's good for me.
Yes.
I'm not going to make a lot of eagles, but I could make a lot of others on the top end with a bad decision.
And 5's our first par 3 on the front 9. Really good hole. We added a new tee a couple years ago because that back tee was pretty tough. We were looking at 190, 200 yards. And we added a second tee, which now makes it more of a mid-iron, probably run the 150 to 160 range. And great hole. We work our way around a little bit more. We get to number 7, which is a fun little dogleg par 4 to the left, water down your left side. Again, generous driving area, but that green's tucked back between a couple bunkers, makes it tough. We go to 8. 8's a really good par 5. It runs along the road. Bigger hitters can get home in 2. And then 9, one of my favorite holes out here too, another great par 3, downhill, and I don't know what it is about that hole. There have been more hole-in-ones on that hole than any hole that I can remember in all my years of golf business.
We think through the experience of a golfer in this region. Obviously, the top of the food chain is here at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, but to explore the area, to play a bunch of different places, this truly is the Northern Michigan mecca of golf, isn't it?
Oh, there's no doubt. I just cannot get over, if you put out a map of all the great golf courses within an hour from here, going in every direction, there's 30 of them, and I mean great golf courses. You just can't beat it. We're lucky to be central located, like you said, here in Traverse. So if you want to hit some other golf courses while you're here, you're no more than usually an hour from any of those golf courses.
Okay, so Mark Hill's personal favorite 3 holes to play on the Wolverine on those rare days when you can just get a golf bag together and go out and play.
Probably the finishing holes, 16, 17, and 18. 16 by far the toughest hole on the course. Big dogleg right par 4 where you got to hit it over a big tree. And you're looking low iron hybrid to get home in 2 most of the time from the back tees. 17, you go back up the hill, little dogleg right, great par 4. You got to carry the water a little bit if you're going to cut off a little bit getting to that green. And then 18 is a great, could be an eagle, could be a birdie, could be a double. You can get home in 2 there, but great finishing holes.
And if at the end your scorecard isn't all that pleasing, come see Mark and his team in the academy for some sharpening of the game.
You betcha. We'd love to have people down. We're so lucky here. We have 3 golf courses. Spend a spare amount of our time on lessons out on the golf course. It's something we're so lucky to have here. I can take my students out there, and I think they get a lot more out of it than just hitting balls in the range.
Well, you have now seen 2 of the 3 championship courses here at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. We have 1 more left, but before we head over to see Spruce Run, I've got a special treat for you, and to go to the special treat, we're going to take advantage of the shuttle service that they have here throughout the resort campus, because once you come to this place on vacation, you don't need your keys anymore. You just sit back and enjoy the ride. Away we go. You had to know at some point during the program that we would introduce you to a remarkable fine dining experience, and that is exactly what you'll find inside Bourbon's 72, Northern Michigan's premier steakhouse located inside the Turtle Creek Casino right alongside M72. This, my friends, is spectacular. Without a doubt, Bourbon's 72 is the premier Northern Michigan steakhouse. It offers an unmatched menu of the finest exclusive steaks, including, for you steak connoisseurs, an A5 Wagyu steak from Japan. You'll find the most tender fillets you've ever had, a selection of seafood, a comprehensive wine list, and a homemade dessert selection to cap off a dinner you won't soon forget. In fact, I really can't wait much longer. It's time to dig into these desserts before we take another break and then finish things up with our final golf course at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, Spruce Run. And remember, when you are ready for a fine dining experience during your next visit, Bourbon's 72 is the place to dine. Welcome back into the show. As we wind down our time here at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, we do have 1 more golf course straight ahead. We can't get there until I figure out a way to escape the escape room located inside the den, where we've been bowling and throwing axes and having all sorts of fun. So they've given me this book of clues. It says, seek the path where the bogeys are found. And in my world, that could be almost anywhere. Let's see if we can get our way out of here. Oh, that's completely the wrong way. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll see you on the first tee at Spruce Run here in just a moment. How do I get out of here? The first course constructed on the property, the last one in our show, is one you can't overlook. Spruce Run's beautiful and has some teeth to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most underrated golf courses in the state, and there is a lot of teeth to it. Holes 3, 4, and 5 in particular are probably the 3 hardest consecutive holes we have on property.
There's some history to this course, dating way back to when it was the only one here.
Sure, it started as a 9-hole golf course, then it turned into an 18-hole golf course in '79, and then in 1981 was the first year that it actually hosted the Michigan Open, and it hosted it for 4 straight years, 81 to 84.
So you think about the really, really good players that competed in the Michigan Open, and you would think that when they came to Spruce Run, they must have set all sorts of scoring records. So how did this course hold up with the best players in the state?
Yeah, you might think so, but the golf course played very difficult. It's quite a bit tighter than typical Northern Michigan golf course, undulating greens, but nobody ever broke par for the 4-round tournament. for those 4 years we hosted the Open on it.
That's going to catch a lot of people by surprise who think that the Bear has the most claws for any golfer out here. This Spruce is not to be overlooked.
Correct. And again, being a par 70 with only 2 par 5s, it does play longer than what you think. And yeah, there is a lot of bite to it, and people are always amazed at the quality of the golf course as well.
You know, as we kind of wind down our golf conversations, I think about this Spruce as the one that probably gets overlooked all too often. But when guests come out to play it, I have to think they're going to want to do it again, because this is a course that requires some experience to know where to hit it, how to make your way around, and certainly how to figure out the greens.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's tight, like I said, and just knowing where to hit it off the tee box, hitting the right club off the tee box, and choosing the right tees to play from to begin with is challenging and what you need to do. Because playing from the blue tees, it's a hard golf course.
Is it fair to say that when I come to play at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, if I'm on a little bit tighter of a budget, that the Spruce would be a friendlier course in a budget sense?
Yeah, and the pocketbook standpoint, yeah, it is. It's priced a little bit less than the other two, maybe even like about 60% of what the Bear and the Wolverine are. But again, quality, it's the same golf course maintenance crew taking care of it. It's a great layout. It's just a great value.
You've got a little bit of everything here, from the Bear to the Wolverine to Spruce Run. Do you allow yourself to pick a personal favorite?
I do, and it's got to be the Bear.
Yeah.
I don't get out enough. I wish I got out more, but the Wolverine is the most popular because it's more friendly. Spruce Run is more typical Northern Michigan, tighter, but it's just the Bear. It's got to be my favorite, just how unique every hole is.
So this golf experience at GTR, I think, stands up to any resort anywhere. You've been here for a long time. What do you hear from guests as they come in, maybe for their first time ever, and experience it for themselves?
Yeah, they are impressed with what we have to offer, especially with the 3 golf courses all operating out of the same clubhouse and 3 totally different golf courses on that same piece of property. That's what they're always amazed about. And then they come off the golf course, it doesn't matter which one they played, and they're always very happy with their experience, happy with the staff and the service they got, and they're ready to book their next round.
We have just a few moments left during our visit to Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, and after all the golf and all of the fun, it is time for some relaxation. We've come down to the spa, where Dawn Olson leads a fantastic team to help put Humpty back together again. How is it that you help treat those who have had a very active stay here at the resort?
I think the biggest way we help treat someone that's been active for a few days is just coming in, decompressing and relaxing with us. And of course, treating themselves to a few spa treatments along the way.
What's the most popular treatment?
I think the most popular is the relaxation massage. That's huge. It's got a lot of relaxation to it, but also the benefits of the actual massage in it. So
there's some therapeutic approaches to the sore muscles and joints that a golfer could get after 54 holes here at the resort. How do you address that golfer need when you start to feel the tension in the shoulders and through the back?
I think the big thing is our massage therapists are pretty intuitive, so they're going to find those knots as they're kind of working their way. Through the massage, they'll find the knots and help you right there. So,
are you seeing more and more men come in for treatment?
We are, yes. Over the course of the past few years, definitely more men are coming in, which has been great.
Well, I know this, after 54 holes, after throwing the axes, after doing all the other things we've done, you start to feel it. Even though it's vacation, there's still this special benefit of blocking out tension and just relaxing, like we are in the relaxation room.
Just as we are right now, yes. So this relaxation room can do a lot for people. You know, it's time to just decompress, unplug, and just be alone for a little bit.
Well, after all the golf and other activities, relaxation is pretty darn nice, and the bonus is I'm told that I'll look 20 years younger on the next episode, so make sure you check that out, and be sure to put Grand Traverse Resort and Spa on your itinerary for your next vacation to the greater Traverse City area. This truly is one special place. I'll be laying here for a while if you need me, and we'll see you next time.